my Health Bounce video came out, my comment section kind of lit up, and one question kept coming up over and over. Wendy, what time of day should I be rebounding? Does timing actually matter for weight loss? Morning, afternoon, evening? Women were asking, and honestly, I had been through this exact question myself. Because about 6 months into rebounding consistently, I hit a plateau. The scale stopped moving, I was frustrated, and timing was one of the first things I started questioning. So I tested it, and what I found out had nothing to do with burning more calories at a specific hour. It had everything to do with what our bodies are doing after 50, and that's the part nobody talks about. I'm Wendy, welcome back to Pausing Time, where we talk about staying healthy, active, and aging powerfully in your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. Let's get into it. So let me give you a little context here. I had been rebounding every single morning before breakfast. 6:30, 7 a.m., fasted, because that's what you always hear, right? Fasted cardio taps into fat stores, burns more fat, do it first thing. So I did, consistently. And for a while it worked. I was feeling good, I was showing up, but then it just stopped. 6 weeks. Same weight, same measurements. I was eating clean, I was on that rebounder every morning, and my body was completely uninterested in changing. And if you've ever been in that place, doing everything right and seeing nothing, you know how demoralizing that is. So I started paying attention, not just to the workout itself, but to how I felt the rest of the day. My energy levels, my hunger, my sleep, my stress, and that's when I started seeing that timing was affecting a lot more than just the workout. It was affecting everything around it, and that was the piece I was missing. So, morning rebounding. Let me start with mornings because there genuinely is a lot to love here, and I don't want to dismiss it. Getting it done early is huge. By 7:15, it's checked off and you are not spending the rest of the day negotiating with yourself about it. That mental freedom is real. I also noticed my brain fog cleared faster on mornings I rebounded. And if you wake up stiff, knees, lower back, hips, gentle bouncing first thing loosens everything up better than just about anything else I've tried. I still do this occasionally, even now. But here's where morning was quietly working against me. I was starving afterward, not a little hungry, genuinely ravenous. And when you start your day that hungry, you end up eating more than you realize throughout the rest of the day. I wasn't tracking it, I wasn't paying attention to it, but looking back, I think that was canceling out a lot of what I was doing. It was sneaky. Also, and this is just real life after 50, I would occasionally get lightheaded. I had mornings where I had to stop and sit down. I learned I needed to take hydration a lot more seriously before a fasted morning session. That's not something I had to think about in my 50s the same way. It is what it is now. But even when I committed to morning rebounding intentionally for another 3 weeks, being consistent, paying attention, the scale didn't move. My body had adapted to it. Something needed to shift. So, afternoon rebounding. The afternoon surprised me, and I want to give it a fair shot here because for some of you, this might actually be the answer. That 2 or 3 o'clock slump, you know exactly what I'm talking about. 10 minutes of rebounding knocked it out completely. Better than coffee. I'd already eaten lunch, so there was no blood sugar weirdness, no ravenous hunger spiral afterward. My energy was stable, my mood was better, and I could actually focus for the rest of the afternoon. But here's the problem, and I think a lot of you are going to relate to this. Life gets in the way. I'd planned to be on the rebounder at 2 and suddenly it's 4:30 and now I'm starting dinner. Appointments, errands, phone calls. Afternoon was by far the hardest time for me to stay consistent. I was only getting it in maybe 5 days a week instead of 7, and those 2 missed days were making a real difference in my results. Consistency is the whole game with rebounding. If the timing doesn't fit your actual life, nothing else about it matters. That's not a theory, that's just the wall I kept running into. So evening rebounding, this is where it got interesting. So I shifted to evenings, after dinner, around 7 or 7:30, once I'd let my food settle for a bit. And I want to be honest, I didn't expect much. Evening workouts always felt counterintuitive to me. You're supposed to be winding down, not working out, right? But within about 2 weeks, the plateau broke. And I sat with that for a while because I really wanted to understand why. Because it wasn't the evening itself that was magical, it was 3 very specific things that happened together, and none of them were directly about the workout. The first was sleep. My sleep improved dramatically. I was sleeping deeper, waking up less, actually feeling rested when the alarm went off. And here's what most people don't connect to weight loss. When your sleep is consistently off, your hunger hormones go completely sideways. Leptin and ghrelin, the hormones that tell your body when it's full and when it's hungry, they regulate during sleep. When you're not sleeping well, you're hungrier and you're craving more. Your body is holding on to everything it can. Fixing my sleep changed the whole picture without me changing anything else. That's how significant it was. The second was stress. Getting on the rebounder after dinner, putting on some music or a podcast, bouncing at my own pace, it became almost meditative. It became my cortisol reset for the day, and that matters enormously after menopause. High cortisol is one of the main reasons we hold on to stubborn belly weight, and most of us are walking around with cortisol that's higher than it should be. When I found something that reliably brought it down at the end of the day, my body started responding differently. The third, and this actually might be the biggest one, I completely stopped snacking at night. I used to graze just a little bit between dinner and bedtime, just a handful of popcorn, a little of that, nothing dramatic, nothing to even really call a snack. But after I started rebounding in the evenings, that habit just went away. I wasn't hungry, and late night grazing is sneaky. You genuinely don't realize how much it's adding up or how much it's disrupting your blood sugar overnight until it's completely gone. So was it the timing, or was it the sleep, the cortisol, and cutting out nighttime eating? All three came from making evening rebounding a consistent part of my routine. Here's what I want you to take from all of this. The best time to rebound is the time you will actually show up for consistently. I know that sounds like a non-answer, so let me make it practical. If you're consistent with mornings and you're seeing results, don't change a thing. If afternoons are the only window that realistically works for your schedule, protect that time and use it. The science around optimal timing means very little if you're missing sessions 3 or 4 days a week because the timing doesn't fit in your actual life. But if you're showing up consistently and you're still stuck, here are the questions worth asking yourself. Are you sleeping well? If the answer is no, that might be your real problem. Evening rebound could be the thing that fixes it without you changing anything else. Are you snacking after dinner? That one habit quietly undoes so much hard work. Evening rebounding is a surprisingly effective way to break that cycle, not through willpower, just through the natural effect it has on your appetite. Is stress a factor? If you're holding weight in your midsection and you feel exhausted but you can't settle down, find the time of day where your rebounding lowers your stress instead of becoming another item on your to-do list. One more thing worth thinking about, and this one doesn't get talked about enough. Think about when rebounding fits into your eating window. I naturally eat between about 11 and 6 most days. Rebounding right around 7 meant I was moving after my last meal of the day. That supports digestion, supports blood sugar stability, and for me, it just eliminated the desire to eat again before bed. That's not an accident. How your movement lines up with your eating patterns matters just as much as the workout itself. Right now, I do most of my rebounding in the evenings, but some mornings when I wake up really stiff, I'll hop on for 5 minutes just to get my joints moving. Sometimes I'll split it, a short session in the morning and a short session in the evening. There's no rule that says it has to be done one way or the other. Do what works. The habit comes first. The fine-tuning comes later. Just get consistent. Pay attention to how your body responds and adjust from there. You know your body better than any study does. So now I want to hear from you because so many of you asked this exact question after the Health Bounce video, and I want to know what your actual experience has been. When do you rebound? Morning, afternoon, evening? Have you noticed a difference in your energy, your sleep, your results based on timing? Drop it in the comments. Hit like and subscribe if that was helpful, and I'll link my favorite rebounders in the description below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.